Okay, I guess we're just going to have a little tagged on sentence here because my midday prayer alarm went off, which I kind of meant to reset because I'm not sure that it's working for me during the daytimes. But it's something that I need to work out. You know, I want to be praying. I should obviously continually. What's that? That there's a scripture about pray without ceasing. Definitely in the morning, in the evening, and I was trying to do like a midday, so there's just a kind of a check-in times. But that's been a hard one for me to actually schedule. So anyway, moving back to the scripture, I will finish it out and then I'll make a little bit of commentary, and this will have to just be a B video. So Joab told the king that what Absalom had said. Then at last David summoned Absalom, who came and bowed low before the king, and the king kissed him. So there was a reconciliation, and what do you all think about that? Have you thought about how harsh the silent treatment is, kind of what we call the silent treatment, when someone won't speak to you for whatever their reasons are? It can be really punishing and manipulating sometimes. So I think this is important to see in the relationship with Absalom and David, and how seriously it was taken that he wouldn't see his son Absalom. Now, Absalom did kill his other son, Amnon, remember? And Amnon raped his daughter, Tamar. So there's a lot here, and there's a lot to forgive. Absalom, in my eyes, is somebody who was trying to defend his sister, I guess, in the best way that he felt that he could, especially after having let it just linger for turn into bitterness, right? But of course, they're both David's sons, and because someone does something wrong doesn't make him hate his own son, as wrong as it was towards his own daughter. But what would have made him love his son, his all of his children more, would have been to discipline his son who did this terribly wrong thing. And I don't see that he did that. And I think that's where things really went wrong. And in the long run, he ended up having to live away from one son who committed this vengeful act. And, in the very end, there was a lot of, rigmarole around trying to get him to finally be reconciled. But there was a reconciliation. And I think, it really is important to understand that relationship is everything to God. He lives in relationship. That's why he created us, and that for that reason, we have to weigh God's value of reconciliation in all of the different matters that we have to deal with. If this one wasn't more complicated than anything we're dealing with, I don't know, but I know there are situations in our lives as well that, feel just as complicated, just as heavy and hard to reconcile, to deal with. But let's remember God's heart, and this was pushing David, I would say, out of the position of a man after God's own heart, had he not come around, it came with him burning his other servants' field, and like, I mean, it wasn't the best way that the reconciliation took place. It wasn't like the prodigal son's father who came running to him. But all in all, it did take place, and I think it just shows, like, again, the weight of it, and the way that God's heart is for his children, that no matter what we've done, reconciliation is possible. And to remember to love well enough that we do the things that are right for someone else, not just comfortable for whatever the family situation is, right? Just keeping it quiet or letting things lie or any other kind of tack like that does not work. We need to love enough to do what is best for everyone involved. So let's keep those things in mind as we finish the chapter 14, 2 Samuel. We'll be back. My intention is tomorrow for chapter 15. God bless.